When it comes to engineering, clarity is king, right? But what if I told you the real secret to achieving it doesn't come from an engineering manual, but from psychology? Today, we're going to look at why the way most companies handle Simplified Technical English, or STE, is probably holding them back, and how one simple idea can unlock its massive strategic value.
You've probably heard this famous line from Gestalt psychology: the whole is other than the sum of its parts. Think about it like this. A bunch of random dots are just, well, dots. But when you arrange them in just the right way, your brain instantly sees a circle. That arrangement creates something totally new, something with meaning.
And here's the kicker. This very concept is the absolute key to powerful technical communication. It's also the one thing that most organizations get completely wrong, and in doing so, they're creating risks they can't even see. Let's dig into that problem.
So this brings us to what I call the bag of parts fallacy. It's a super common and honestly a pretty dangerous way of thinking about what STEM really is. So, if you were to walk into an engineering manager's office and ask about their STE strategy, what do you think they'd tell you? Well, their answer usually shows that they're just looking at the dots and they're missing the circle entirely. Most of the time, they see STE as just a simple bag of parts. You know, a dictionary with about 900 words in it, and some software tool that checks their writing against that list. They buy the tool, they check the parts, and they think, great, we've achieved clarity.
But that approach? It's just flat out wrong. It gives you this false sense of security because it completely ignores the whole, which is the linguistic methodology that dictates how you're supposed to put those parts together to create meaning that is absolutely unambiguous. Okay, so what really happens when you rely only on these tools? These tools that can see the parts but are totally blind to the bigger picture? Well, the results can be confusing, non-compliant, and frankly, pretty risky. Let's look at a couple of real-world examples. This slide just lays it out perfectly. A software tool scans the sentence, the cap is close. It looks at its dictionary, sees the word close is an approved verb, and slaps an approval on it. Green light. But a trained human expert who understands the methodology knows that STE Rule 1.2 strictly forbids using close as an adjective. The correct compliance sentence is, the cap is closed. See? The tool located the part, but completely missed that the whole was wrong. And it doesn't stop there. Here's another one that can be really costly. A tool reads, the motor drives the pump. The word drive is in the dictionary, so check, it gets a pass. But the STE methodology, specifically Rule 1.3, says you can't use drive for mechanisms that aren't vehicles. A trained expert knows the right sentence is, the motor operates the pump. Now, this isn't just nitpicking about grammar. This is about creating clean, machine-readable data. The tool-based approach creates ambiguous data. It's literally garbage in for those expensive AI systems you're building. So here's the solution, the big shift in thinking. STI isn't a checklist for a computer program. It's a methodology built for the human mind. We have to stop seeing STI as a bag of parts and start treating it like the complete linguistic system it was always meant to be. Let's be really clear about what the official standard ASD/ST 100 actually is. It is not just a dictionary. It's a comprehensive linguistic methodology packed with dozens of rules for grammar, syntax, and vocabulary. And every single one is there for one reason: to eliminate cognitive friction and ambiguity. And the brilliant part is how STE is engineered to work with your brain's natural tendencies, not against them. You've got the principle of similarity, one word for one meaning, which just wipes out confusion. Then there's the principle of proximity, keeping sentences short so information is way easier to digest. And the principle of closure, always using the active voice, which gives you a crystal clear picture of who is doing what. All right, so this all sounds great, but let's get down to brass tacks. Let's talk about the payoff and build the business case for this. Because when we talk about the whole system, we're really talking about where you get your return on investment. In the business world, ambiguity and complexity aren't just little editorial issues. Let's call cognitive friction what it is: a business liability. Full stop. It leads directly to wasted time, to human error, and to very real risk. So when you invest in the whole methodology, not just the parts, that's when you unlock the real ROI. We're talking about reducing the risk of human error. We're talking about creating the clean, structured data that your AI and big data systems are starving for. And as you're about to see, you can slash your translation costs.
That's right. By creating source text that is crystal clear and perfectly consistent, companies can expect to see their translation costs drop by 35%, or even more. Now that is a hard number that gets a manager's attention because it goes straight to the bottom line.
So if we agree that the real value is created by a human being applying a methodology, well, then the next step is pretty obvious, isn't it? You need an expert guide to build that skill. This isn't about buying another piece of software, it's about developing real human expertise. And that is exactly where Shufrans Tech Docs comes into the picture. As the global authority in implementing ASD's D100, they provide the expert-led training that's needed to build this foundational human skill inside your team.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? The real value, the safety, the clarity, it isn't sitting in a dictionary file. It's created inside a trained human mind that knows how to assemble the parts into a coherent, unambiguous whole. That is where the value comes from.
And Shufrans Tech Docs is absolutely committed to providing the highest quality learning experience you can find. Their workshops are available across 4 different time zones, which is perfect for global teams. And get this, starting May 5th, 2025, all their online sessions will be capped at just 5 participants. That's how they guarantee maximum personal attention to make sure your team develops true, lasting expertise.
Which brings us to our final point. The choice you have to make here isn't just about editing documents. It's about strategy. It's about how you decide to create and protect value within your company.
And the choice couldn't be more clear. A dictionary and a checker tool, those are commodities. Anyone can buy them. They only check the parts. But the methodology, that is a strategic imperative. That's what creates the value, ensures safety, and makes sure your content is ready for the age of AI.
So the question you need to ask is, are you investing in parts or are you ready to invest in the whole? It's time to put your resources into the human expertise that truly creates and protects value for your organization.
Remember, a dictionary is just a commodity, but the methodology is an imperative. Reach out to Shufrans Tech Docs today. It's time to build your content's gestalt and engineer true clarity.